Hey y'all. Sorry I'm a little late getting started with follow-up of day 2. Yesterday I read to you Those Shoes by Mary Beth Boltz, and we met Jeremy, who's a fantastic character, and we're going to talk a little bit about that book. I'm going to give you a prompt that you can write to. I to be just totally transparent, I meditated this morning. Meditation has really helped me mentally just be a person in this world, and especially dealing with today. So I meditated, and then I mistakenly, foolishly, opened up my Fidelity account and looked at that. So that's what not to do, parents. Just don't go look at that account or any of your stock stuff. So I'm going to get started. I'm really excited to spend time with you today. Hopefully you have a notebook, a piece of paper, a napkin, or your laptop, or whatever technology you want to use, your note section, your phone. That's totally cool. But yesterday, after doing this read aloud and meeting Jeremy, this story reminds me that you can write about the everyday things that happen to you in your life, the things that happen to you, and also the people that are in your life, right? So I want to take you through a lesson that helps you find and kind of prime writing ideas. I've used it with students for a really long time. It was taught to me through Teachers College, the Reading and Writing Workshop, the Writer's Workshop, by Lucy Calkins, and it's really, really simple and can be applied to young writers, older writers, adults, teachers, etc. So yesterday I showed you this chart, right? It says writers can write about people, events, and things in their lives, right? So if I was Jeremy, right, I would be able to write about Antonio. He was in the book, right? So Antonio was in the book, and I would also be able to write about me giving my shoes to Antonio. That would be an event, something that happened to him, right? And also I could write about the thing being the shoes. I could write about that too. But I'm not Jeremy, and I'm not Antonio, and that book wasn't my life. That was just a character in my book. So I'm gonna say, okay, those aren't the things in my life that I want to write about. I want to pick the people, events, and things in my life, and I want to be able to write long about them. As a writer, I can write about the things that are in my life best because I've experienced them. So I'm going to take you through how I would do this, and then I want you to do it too, okay? So I'm right now, really, really quickly, this is going to take less than a minute. I'm going to think about the people in my life, the events in my life, and the things in my life, and I'm going to write them down. I'm not going to censor my list. When I say censor, it means getting way too much in my head, thinking way too much about what I want to write about this person, I'm not really sure. I'm just doing a really, really quick write. If we censor it, the ideas stop, okay? So watch me, and then I'm going to ask you to do this too. So people in my life I can write about my mom, I can write about my dad, I can write about Katie, Jamie, Megan, Matt, Holly. Those are all my siblings, y'all. I can write about Kiana. Hi, Kiana. I saw Kiana over at Mardi Gras. I can write about Monica. Monica, I see you on Facebook. We have a good story that we could write about Monica. I could write about my old boss, Andy. I could write about my friend, Alexis. I could write about my grandma, okay? That's my list. Really, really quick. Top of my head. Okay, events. What events? So the events are things that have happened to me or experiences I've had. So one event that happened, I moved to Mississippi. You might not have moved to Mississippi, but I bet there's an event in your life. You've moved somewhere, right? So maybe you moved into a home. Another event that has happened to me, I got lost yesterday. I went for a drive and I got completely lost. Happens a lot, but it was just funny because I completely wasted time trying to figure out where I was, and it was kind of a nightmare. And since I'm not trying to be talking to anyone or touching anyone, it was fun for me to figure this out. Another event that happened to me, the Iris parade when I met Miss Ramona. Ramona, I'm looking at you. So Ramona and I met online, and we'd never met before, and then we met at Mardi Gras on a Saturday parade. It was fabulous. That's another event. Let's see. I could write about visiting my mom. I could write about learning how to ride a bike. I could write about going on a field trip to Atlanta with kids from my old school. Okay, my list so far looks a mess. I'm not worried about spelling or grammar, I'm just getting the ideas down. Okay, and then things I could write about, let's see, I could write about this bag of pictures, okay? So, I could write about my dad's ruler. I could write about my my necklace I have. I could write about my mom's notebook. I could write about, let's see, I'll just leave it at that. Okay, I'm getting too much in my head. So I have this list of things that I could write about. Now, I'm gonna have to pick one. What I want you to do, and I'm gonna post this to YouTube so you can stop this video at any time, but you have to make your own list. You have to write the people, the events, and the things in your life that you can write about, okay? So I want you to do that. Take a minute to do that while I pick the event that you're gonna watch me write about. Okay, so you probably already have a list in your head. Now, in terms of the people and the events and the things, which one I'm gonna write about, I have to kind of choose what I feel like writing today. It's my choice, right? So I think today I'm gonna choose to write about I'm going to circle it. To write about this bag of pictures. Okay? So this bag of pictures, basically, I'm gonna talk to you about them, and I'm gonna kind of tell you my story right now, and then I'm gonna write it down later when I'm not in front of you, okay? If I was in a classroom right now and I had chart paper, you would see me sketching out my story so the kids could see it too, okay? But I'm literally gonna tell you my story about this bag of pictures. And I want you at home to tell your story to yourself if you're alone, or to your family, or to your sister, or whomever you're with. Tell your story, talk your story, and then you can write it down, okay? So I carry this bag of pictures with me because I tend to move and I tend to travel. This bag of pictures is important to me because it really is all the memories I have of my mom and my dad, and our family. So when I need inspiration, or when I feel happy or sad, or just want to think about a memory, I can literally go into this bag and pick one out, and it makes me remember where I come from. So I can tell a story about this bag of pictures, right? I'm already realizing in talking to you that this bag of pictures is like a huge story idea. Because guess what? There's like 50 pictures in here. So I'm thinking, wait, this isn't really about this bag. This is about one individual picture that's in here. If I just write a story about this bag, what I'm really doing, and this is what a lot of kids do, is they write a summary. They tell the summary across their hands. This bag is really important to me because it's got pictures of my mom. Some pictures are from when she was a kid. Some pictures are from when she was a nun. Some pictures are from when she's a mother. Some pictures are like this. I like this picture because then there's this picture, right? It becomes a list and a summary and not a story. The real story is not this huge watermelon, as Lucy Calkins would say, but it's the seed. So maybe I want to find a picture in here that is the story. And I'm going to have to decide that, right? But I already have my thing that I can write about. It's just going to take me getting it better, moving it from a summary to a story, okay? And I can totally do that. So what I want you to do, okay, now, or when I post this to YouTube, you can pause it. I want you to tell your story, as I said, to someone at home or to yourself, and then I want you to write it down. And I do not want you to worry about spelling or grammar or whatever. It is about putting your ideas down. It is about developing your ideas. Other teachers may say I'm crazy. I don't give a shit, okay? That's now, the time for revision and red pen is not now. It comes much later, okay? So you tell your story across your hands just like I did. You just say it. Then, when you get comfortable, you write it down. And let me show you how messy it looks. There's no such thing as perfection. People who say things are perfect, they're liars. It doesn't matter. Perfection is, sorry to use this word, it's bullshit. So you literally are just writing it down. You are just writing it long, writing it fast, writing. Your pen is not stopping off the page. You're going to watch me do this tomorrow. I'm going to try and get some chart paper because you know how I love chart paper. Like, I'm a chart paper, like, fanatic. And you're going to watch me do this, hopefully to give you permission for you to do the same thing, okay? I'm talking too much. But that's one thing I want you to work on. So you're going to pick your story idea. You're going to pick your story idea. You're going to talk about it. Then you're going to write about it. And you're going to bring it back tomorrow, okay? And hopefully you can also DM me if you have any questions, and I'll get back with you. But I would love to see people trying out story ideas. Please, 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 please. Like, don't make this a waste of your time, and also mine. Like, we have opportunities to curate our own stories, because your story is important. And you sharing your story with your parent, or parents, you sharing your story with your children, that is how we build stronger communities. We need to be doing more of that. The other stuff, like, F it, right? It doesn't, we don't need it, it's not important, whatever. Okay, so that's one option for you to do. Got it? If you understand what I'm saying, if you're clear on the directions, like, thumbs up. Can anyone tell me? Yes, I'm like looking and seeing who's watching. Okay, so, okay, I have a yes. Okay, so the other thing, the other opportunity you have, aside from that writing exercise, is another one. I created a prompt, and I'm gonna put the prompt in a Google Doc and also at the end of this video. So you'll have it in writing, but I'm just gonna verbally tell you what the prompt is, if you choose to write the prompt instead of your own story idea. So here's the prompt, and it's based on the book that I read yesterday. So in those shoes, Jeremy says, that night, I am awake for a long time thinking about Antonio. When morning comes, I try on my shoes one last time. Before I can change my mind, my shoes are on my coat. What does Jeremy's thoughts and actions reveal about him? Do you think our world needs more Jeremys? Why or why not? Be sure to include evidence from the text and your own thoughts in your response. Okay, you need me to read it again? So in those shoes, Jeremy says, that night, I am awake for a long time thinking about Antonio. When morning comes, I try on my shoes one last time. Before I can change my mind, my shoes are in my coat. What does Jeremy's thoughts and actions reveal about him? Do you think our world needs more Jeremys? Why or why not? Be sure to include evidence from the text and your own thoughts in your response. Okay, so I'll post that prompt at the end of this, and I'm also going to post this to YouTube, so you'll see it there too. I hope that you'll come back tomorrow, and I hope that you will share your writing. Like, I would love this to kind of blow up. And I will share my writing with you, because as I said yesterday, I am not a hypocrite. And so what I ask you to do, I in turn will do as well. And I hope that we are having conversations during dinner around our own writing. Like, how cool would that be, right? Like, let's start a reading and writing revolution in the next 3 weeks when we're sequestered at home together. So yeah, thanks y'all, and I'll see you again tomorrow. And tomorrow I think I will do it at the same time, unless you think it's better earlier, who knows. But perhaps 1 or 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, take care y'all, be good to one another, bye.